Kane, I body the Undertaker. My desire is how you living, you can't break us. Praying on our knees, son, never to be taken. Apparatus, 8 bars upon bars, what a collage. Pick stick shocking, the king is in charge. Stay covered, let the flow preside pass, keep running. I'm a rep hard, I'm a rep to the end. I'm a rep hard, I'm a rep to the end. Tell him again, Jesus win. Tell him again then. No need to pretend. Oh, no, born with a face, so we started again. 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 So we started again.
Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome to Wrestling Highlight of the Week. Unfortunately, I know I started this a couple of weeks ago, but I've had to redo the show because Impact Wrestling now has a 7-day delay on uploading their shows, which means it'll be uploaded next Friday on the app. So it's like, well, all the other promotions are going to be releasing their next week's shows already before that. If there's no good reviewing, and otherwise it'd just be too late. And so I decided that I'm not going to do Impact on the show now. I may do Impact on a different show or something else later on, but so now it's going to be a promotion called Rockstar Pro Wrestling Amped. It can be found on the Fight Network. It's a sister company to Combat Zone Wrestling. This week is the first week that I've got to watch it. It's kind of like ECW, the way that they do the them for the transitions between the matches and the backstage back to the matches. It has that sort of blur bit behind it, so it's a bit different to Combat Zone Wrestling style, and they made it slightly different rather than copy and paste style thing. But it's a sister company to them. The show was actually okay. I would give it definitely kind of like 3 out of 5 stars sort of thing. But the opening match will have to be the worst match I have ever seen in my life. It was a basic gimmick style match, and it literally just roll ups, and a spear to win. It was like Roman Reigns had put on better matches than what this match was. I honestly tell you, John Murray versus Dirty White Mike was the worst match I have ever seen in probably the last 10 years. Easily one of the worst matches. Even that Rosie Donald thing and Donald Trump they did in the PG era were probably better than what I saw in that match. So I just don't know what they're thinking. It's that little gimmick, comedy match they do in certain indie shows and stuff. So it was just like the worst thing ever. Besides the intro match they had on the show, the other matches were actually okay. They were watchable. There was some good action in it, good storytelling. The commentators really sold it well, which is something that lacks, I think, in somewhere like Ring of Honor. They do lack a bit of giving you insight into the wrestlers, giving you insight into what's going on, and that's where Ring of Honor just doesn't do it for me, because it's like, well, I'm seeing the guys in the ring, great, they can wrestle and everything, but who are they? Give me some insight to it. Give me some understanding to the promotion and things like that. Where Rockstar Pro Wrestling Amped, what they did was they gave you an understanding of, okay, this team doesn't like this team, and these guys are gonna have a series of matches. Or, for example, like they had Sid Fabulous versus Alex Colon, and basically they're part of 2 different trio tag teams. And over the next couple of weeks, they're gonna have a series of matches between both teams. For example, it'd be 3 separate matches, which is actually not a bad way of building them up together and building the feud up. There's going to be interferences, things like that. So you can always make it fresh and different, and rather than just having, like recently Jeff versus Cesaro and the Sheamus versus Matt. So it's, a unique way of kind of building up a trio tag teams for your promotion. I like the idea of it. It was overall, it was an okay actual match. I found it pretty good. Considering that I've never seen these guys before anywhere, and they kind of had a good showcase as well. They gave him plenty of time. There wasn't like adverts between these, like Ring of Honor, oh, you need the knee pain and all this and that health stuff, and they just had a straight show, and it was not too bad to watch. I found it like ECW. That's what it used to be like. So they had Clayton Jackson versus Jake Chris. And Jake Chris used to be from Combat Zone Wrestling, and I think his brother Dave is now part of 205 Live. He wore a suit and won a backstage segment a little while ago about nobody doing high-flying moves no more. He's over there now. But Jake Chris was actually okay, and Clayton Jackson was kind of like a Chris Masters built type of guy, that sort of cockiness and, that type of attitude. Overall, the match was pretty good, and again, it was one of those unique things where, you know, you see this random show and there's actually some okay wrestling. The main event was Desmond Xavier, who now just recently joined Impact Wrestling, or he was part of the 6-way division match on the Spike TV debut. So it'll be interesting how he develops there, if he stays there full time, against Zachary Wentz, who apparently was his former friend, tag team partner. I just learned about all these matches from the commentating team because they sold it. They sold it really well, and I will give them that much credit because they made me want to go, okay, so why do these guys do not like each other? Why are they fighting each other? And I found that Ring of Honor doesn't do that enough. That's the problem with Ring of Honor. But this show was overall okay. The main event, they just went back around through the crowd at the start of it before they went in the ring. It was that, you know, kind of gross match sort of thing. It may be because Xavier may be leaving the promotion because of Impact, so probably why they did this match, this feud. Overall, the show was okay. You know, the first time watching it, so I'll be looking forward to seeing more of these shows. I just hope they don't do another John Murray versus Dirty White Mike. Please, God, do not let them do that again, because that was just the most horrible thing that I've ever seen. Even some of the worst Diva matches were better than that match. Honestly, to truth, it was just horrible. You know, some of the other indie stuff that people say are bad, you know, this is, I'm not going to comment anymore on it. But again, good show, good showcasing, and a good way to get the audience that listen to it to understand it well. The commentators did a good job on it. Definitely, if you're a fan of ECW, I would recommend it, because it's got some, not similarity, but it has that type of style to it, with the way they do this show, and so it's a good overall show. Ring of Honor episode 293 starts off with the Kingdom versus Coast to Coast. The typical tag team match, to be honest with you. I'm not going to go move for move these reviews, as I said before the other week. The Kingdom did something that was kind of good at the end, though, where they sent a message to Christopher Daniel before they finished the match. A UT finisher saying, you know, coming for you type of thing, which is pretty good because you don't see that very often nowadays. So I kind of like the way they did that. They looked directly at the camera and be like, we're coming for you sort of thing. So I like the way they did that. Sorry about that. Young Bucks made a promo about Adam Cole trying to fire them, and apparently the Bullet Club's all good now. They sorted out the issues or whatever. Young Bucks made an open challenge to any tag team. Now, out of all the tag teams they have in the world, DIY in WWE and tag team like LAX and Impact Wrestling, you got tag teams in New Japan, you know, you got tag teams in England, in Mexico. All these different tag teams are awesome. They get the Squad, formerly known as the Spirit Squad, who will accepted the challenge for next week, I believe. Out of all the tag team, you got the Spirit Squad. Really? That's the best you guys can do? Come on, Ring of Honor. You're supposed to be the best wrestling show in the world, and yet you got the Spirit Squad. They're supposed to be retired. They're not supposed to be usable. That's why they sent back to OVW. In case you missed that segment. Spirit Squad. Oh, okay. Then it made it a bit better because Matt Sydal returned last week at the end of the show. Last week, the week before, he returned at the end of the show, and he went against a guy called Flip Jordan. I never heard of him before, but he actually did a pretty good match with Matt Sydal. They really did some awesome stuff, and Flip Gordon lived up to his name, the amount of stuff that he's doing. So I'll be interested to see more from Flip Gordon later on as he stays with Ring of Honor and stuff, what he can do, his potential could be interesting. Matt Sydal wins the Shooting Star Press, and Marty Scurll comes in to attack him. And yet Matt actually throws him back out, and you know, it's like, well, why had the heel attack the babyface for the babyface to throw at the heel? Surely this should be the show for the heel to get the upper hand on the babyface. You still got another week or two whenever it's in the next pay-per-view, so you could have just done, you know, I don't see why they did that. It just seemed really weird, the booking decision on that, so I'll give them definitely a down on that. That was just horrible. The way that they sort of like, well, you're trying to build up the heel with Marty Scurll as your TV champion, and yet you just had him basically knocked out by your babyface. and you'll probably be building up him as a heel and him as a babyface. Yeah, I think the confrontation was too soon. They should have built another week or two on it. I thought they really just went too quick with that feud bit there. Then the main event was a fatal four-way match. Before that there was Adam Cole explaining about the Bullet Club are all okay now, and him and Cody Rhodes will face Dilton Castle and Christopher Daniels next week in a tag team match. So again, you see there they're trying to build up for next week and things like that. So we already got 2 tag team matches. I think Teddy Long is in the Ring of Honor now, by the looks of it. But it's okay. They kind of explain the issues and try to give both sides of the story, which is pretty good because that's what you should have, both sides to every story. The main event was a fatal 4-way match, and the fatal 4-way match was okay. It's your typical 4-way type of match. The winner was Jay Lethal with his hairspring into the ropes back into the cutter, and he won the match, so he's gonna be involved in the title match. So I'm surprised they didn't go with Jay White. To be honest, I thought they would have built somebody else up. Kind of like what WCPW did with Gabriel Kidd, Cody Rhodes, and Joe Hendry, because that would be your time in that triple threat match to showcase a new star. You know, you've already got Christopher Daniels and Cody Rhodes. You could have put anybody in that third spot. It wouldn't matter. So I think this should have been a good chance for somebody like Silas Young or Jay White. Just somebody really random, and you put them there just to get them some more main event time. So I'm pretty disappointed they didn't do that for Jay White. Because he's a good up and coming kid that's coming up in the business. So it's just a shame they didn't allow that. Now, NXT 390, I just got done watching this afternoon. Starts off with Big Damo versus Danny Boots from the UK. Typical match, to be honest. Nothing really to say on it. And then there's this promo of, it looks like some guy, African, but it's Valentine Dreams. I don't know if I misread that or not. I got this feeling it's no way Jose, he coming with a different gimmick. It just seems like it's no way Jose. I'm sorry, but it seems like it's a new version of him with a haircut, not the afro anymore. Because you know that he's not been on TV the last few weeks. So I think it's no way Jose coming back with a new gimmick, in my opinion. Unless somebody wants to give you some more, it may just be some promo for perfume. Then I completely got that wrong, but I think it's no way Jose. Then we had the tag team match, pretty much a squash match. Heavy Machinery gets some jobbers. The tag team finisher were not too bad, because basically you had them hold up both guys with one of them, then the other one jumped behind his partner and basically just squashed it with 600 pounds. So it wasn't too bad compared to your typical big man finisher. It showed they had some athleticism a little bit. They're very hyped up type of guys, so them and like the hype bros that ride them and that, they're quite that hype. So they showed some personality, which is quite good for big men, because a lot of time they're just, walking around with no personality. So it's great to see that with that type of style of men, that they give them that personality, especially with tag teams as well. So it'll be interesting as they challenge House of Pain for the tag team titles. And what I don't get, this is the one thing somebody can answer me, is why is DIY still on NXT? Come on. You got 2 guys there that can be single guys, you can split them up or whatever, but you got a tag team, DIY, that should be on the main roster with the Revival. The Revival at the moment is sidelined because I think it's Dash got an injury, so DIY should have been up on the main roster. I don't see why they're not there. There's honestly no reason for them to still be on NXT. Whether or not they see all the tag team title match, or whether they're gonna actually let them have that rematch, then they're gonna go up maybe SummerSlam near there or here. I just felt that like they're kind of keeping them there too long, and this is what they're doing with Asuka now. They're keeping her there too long. She should already be on the main event. This is where they let themselves down a bit with NXT. They keep them there too long. I know Itami has been there since like 2015, but he's had injuries, he's been sidelined for a while here and there, so he hasn't really been built in a good solid way. He's still getting a good reaction from the fan, which is great, because that's what you want. So Itami's still getting a good strong reaction, although his music does sound like it's from Bullet Club. I don't know if anybody else sounds it that way, but to me, they sound like it's the same sort of pattern as Bullet Club theme. I don't know if it's just me that's noticed that on the show, when he comes out with his music. But overall, he went against a guy who had a backstage promo with Bobby Roode. It was silent, but I think it's just a prep talk for Roode, telling him how to deal with Tommy. In match, Tommy gets jumped pretty quick, but the Tommy did some nasty, I think it was a slap or something that you could hear from the whole room. It was that loud, even when you watch it on the show, it was like, but he used to go to sleep, and they seem to really protected that finisher well, when not too many people used it. I think CM Punk and him are the only two people that many use that move. If I'm wrong, correct me please. But it was an okay match to keep Tommy into the flow of things after being off for a long time. We get a promo from Rodney Strong about him having a new kid on the way, a thing like that, about his partner being an MMA woman and all that. So it's to give you more insight to his character, which is what you want to do with these type of 1 hour shows. It's just to have a little segment for each guy every other week who you're building up to be the main event, because of how you're going to build it. And there's one for Drew Galloway as well, a little bit here and there. So again, you're building up, you're giving the fans an understanding of who they are, and that's what Rockstar Pro Wrestling did with their tag teams. They gave you an understanding of why they hate each other. Well, Ring of Honor doesn't do that much. I find they very lacking on it, and it just makes it kind of like, well, why should I watch next week? I nearly didn't review Ring of Honor anymore, because after the last 2 weeks, the shows have been pretty duh. The fans have been pretty horrible, the crowd's been basic, and I just like, well, why should I review this anymore? I've watched a whole hour and nothing excites me, nothing is making me want to watch Ring of Honor. This week was better, I'll give them that. This week was better. They gave an investment into next week. They gave a deeper look into, okay, this is what's going to happen next week. Get ready for it, which is what you want to do, because you got to make people come back. Like any business, you want that customer to come back, and that's what Ring of Honor struggles with sometimes on the weekly shows. Not so much the pay-per-view, because they sell them really well, but on the weekly show they do lack on that selling for next week type of deal, where NXT does it beautifully, where they did the Battle Royal this week for the number 1 contenders for the women's title, and then you had Asuka, attacking the last 3, which I don't know why they rang the bell, because isn't Battle Royal no DQ? It was a bit of a strange ending. I would have thought all 3 of them ganged up on Asuka and threw her out while they finished the match. To me, that showed you more of a strong contender for her, rather than just doing the fatal 4-way for the title. So I was a bit disappointed on that finish, to be honest with you. But again, overall, NXT was okay. They're building up for the next stages and things like that in the storylines. Which show was the best show this week? Since introducing Rockstar Pro Wrestling, it's going to be a hard one, because apart from that gimmick match at the start of that show, the other matches were okay to watch. They were pretty decent. I think NXT had 2 squash matches which they could have gotten away with, rather than having perhaps maybe Tommy at the start of the show, or the Battle Royal rather at the start, rather at the end. And they're giving focus on the women's division, but you want to focus on your next challenger for the world title. So, in Ring of Honor, they promoted next week's 2 matches, which seem to be tag team matches with Bullet Club involvement. So it's pretty hard to say which is the best show. I had to give it to Rockstar Pro Wrestling app this week, because they gave me a good insight into who they kind of were with the opponents and the tag teams and why they fight each other, which you gotta sell somebody on. And I'm not saying NXT did do that, but I think they overdone it with the squash matches with Heavy Machinery and Itami. So I'm going to give it to Rockstar Pro Wrestling as the best show this week. So next week I will try and do the same 3 shows again. If you want to watch Rockstar Pro Wrestling or Ring of Honor, go to the Fight Network, and of course you know what NXT is right there in the WWE Network. As a Christian rapper named Triple O, he's releasing a new album pretty soon, and also he got a new video coming out today. I'll put his Facebook link in that below in the description. Please like, share, and subscribe. I will be trying to do more of these. I'm still working out kinks and things with the video, so forgive me if there are errors or they sound terrible. I am trying to work on some stuff. Thank you for your time. God bless.